Okay, so you want to own a casino. You find a building, install some slot machines, hire dealers, and let the money roll in. But here's the strange part. A casino is the only legal business in the world where math guarantees you a profit on every single dollar that walks through the door. And it's also the business where the smartest, richest operators on the planet keep going bankrupt. Anyway, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why that happens, where the casino's money actually comes from, what it costs to enter the business, and why the biggest casino fortunes were built by doing something that has surprisingly little to do with gambling. First, you need to understand the scale. A small regional casino can cost roughly $10 million to $50 million. Think hundreds of machines, a few tables, restaurants, security, and enough parking for locals. A serious regional resort can push into the hundreds of millions. Then there's the monster. A destination casino resort can cost $1 billion, $2 billion, even several billion dollars. Las Vegas Sands spent billions building integrated resorts across major gambling markets. And the building isn't even the first problem. The first hidden cost is permission. You aren't simply buying property. You're buying the right to operate a heavily regulated financial machine. Licensing, background checks, surveillance requirements, compliance systems, gaming taxes, and regulatory approvals can consume enormous amounts of time and capital. And then there's geography. Macau generated about $28.4 billion in gaming revenue in 2024. That's more than 3 times the gaming revenue of many major casino markets combined. But Macau doesn't just let anyone open a casino. The government controls who gets access. So before you buy the building, you have to buy something much more valuable: permission. Now we get to the question that actually matters. Where does the money come from? Imagine we flip a coin. Heads, you win $100. Tails, I win $100. That's fair. Now change one tiny rule. Heads still pays you $100. But when tails appears, I keep $105. The coin didn't change. The probabilities didn't change. The rules did. That extra $5 is my mathematical advantage. Casinos do exactly this. The industry calls it the house edge. It simply means the percentage the casino expects to keep from bets over time. Take American roulette. There are 38 pockets. If you bet $100 on one number, the casino pays $3,500 when you win. But the true odds aren't 35 to 1. They're 37 to 1. That tiny difference creates a house edge of about 5.26%. On one spin, it means almost nothing. Across millions of bets, it becomes an enormous machine. And here's where it gets interesting. Slots are even more powerful. The machine doesn't need a dealer. It doesn't need a card shoe. It doesn't need a player making complicated decisions. It simply sits there, waiting. A machine taking $100 million in wagers doesn't need to win every spin. It only needs the long-term mathematics to work. That's why casinos care about volume more than individual winners. A player can win tonight. The casino doesn't care. It cares about what happens across thousands of players, millions of wagers, and thousands of operating hours. And then comes the real multiplier: time. If a customer stays for 1 hour, the casino gets 1 hour of betting. Keep that customer inside for 4 hours, and the same customer has 4 times as much opportunity to generate theoretical revenue. That brings us to the architecture. Walk into a major casino and look around. You won't find many clocks. You won't find many obvious reminders of time. Everything is designed around movement, attention, comfort, and repetition. The casino isn't simply selling gambling. It's selling an environment where gambling feels natural. And then there's the Players Club card. This is where the business becomes a data company. Every time you use the card, the casino learns something: how much you bet, how long you play, which games you prefer, how often you return. The industry calls one important calculation theoretical loss. It means the amount the casino expects you to lose based on your betting behavior. Suppose you wager $20,000 during an evening. If the casino expects a 5% hold, your theoretical loss is $1,000. The casino can then give you meals, rooms, drinks, or other benefits. It isn't generosity, it's customer acquisition. And here's the uncomfortable part. The casino doesn't need every customer to lose tonight. It needs enough customers to keep coming back. At the top sit the whales. These are the tiny group of customers who wager enormous amounts. A whale can lose millions, but they can also win millions. That's why casinos don't treat them like ordinary customers. A regular player might get a free buffet. A whale can get a suite, private transportation, luxury dining, and personalized service. Because the casino isn't calculating what that customer wins tonight. It's calculating expected value over time. Now comes the part that breaks the entire illusion. If the casino has the edge, why do casino owners fail? Because the house edge belongs to the games. The debt belongs to you. Take Donald Trump's Taj Mahal. The casino opened in 1990 after raising $675 million through bonds carrying a 14% interest rate. That's roughly $94.5 million of annual interest before you pay for anything else. The problem was simple. The casino had the mathematical edge, but the financing demanded cash immediately. Within months, the Taj struggled with its debt. In 1991, it entered bankruptcy. The lesson wasn't that casinos don't work. The lesson was that debt can destroy a business faster than the house edge can save it. Mistake 2 is different. Build the wrong casino. In 2012, Revel opened in Atlantic City. The project cost about $2.4 billion. It was designed as a glamorous destination resort, but the market didn't cooperate. The casino closed in 2014, just 2 years after opening. The property later changed hands for a fraction of its construction cost. Then there was Lucky Dragon. It opened near the Las Vegas Strip in 2016. The project cost roughly $165 million. It targeted Asian gamblers with a highly specialized concept. The casino closed in January 2018. The property was eventually sold for just $36 million. That's a loss of roughly 78% from the original development cost. Same industry, different failure. Trump had too much debt. Revel and Lucky Dragon struggled with the product and market. The house always has an edge. The owner doesn't. So let's put actual numbers around the business. Imagine you invest $20 million into a small regional casino. Suppose the property generates $15 million in annual gaming revenue. Add another $5 million from food, drinks, rooms, and other services. That's $20 million in total revenue. Now remove payroll, taxes, utilities, maintenance, security, marketing, insurance, compliance, financing, and everything else. If you eventually produce $3 million in annual operating profit, your simple payback is around 6 to 7 years. Not spectacular, but powerful if the property remains busy. Now scale it up. Imagine a $1 billion integrated resort. This isn't just a casino anymore. It's a hotel, restaurant, convention center, entertainment venue, shopping complex, and gambling floor. Look at MGM's 2024 Las Vegas Strip resorts. They generated about $8.8 billion in revenue. Only about $2 billion came directly from casino operations. Rooms generated roughly $3.2 billion. Food and beverage added another $2.4 billion. Entertainment, retail, and other activities generated about $1.3 billion. That tells you what the modern casino really is. The gambling floor isn't the entire business. It's the engine that attracts the customer. The hotel monetizes the visit. The restaurants monetize the hunger. The shows monetize the evening. The shops monetize everything left in the wallet. And this is why Sheldon Adelson became so important. He didn't simply build casinos, he built integrated resorts. By the time Adelson died in 2021, Forbes estimated his fortune at about $35 billion. His great insight was that gambling could be the reason people arrive, but everything around gambling could be what makes the business enormous. And now we can finally solve the paradox. A casino is one of the rare businesses where the core product has mathematics working in its favor. But owning the building means taking responsibility for everything surrounding that mathematics. Debt, labor, taxes, construction, regulation, competition, location, tourism, and timing. The games can be predictable. The business isn't. That's the real economics of owning a casino. The house doesn't always win. The house only wins when the owner survives long enough for the math to work. And that's the strange part. In a casino, the hardest bet isn't the one on the table. It's the one you make by owning the house.